In the spotlight tonight is Gary James from Huntingdon, a purchasing advisor. His specialist subject is British cars of the 60s and 70s. Peter Finan from West Yorkshire, a development chemist. His is the music of the Smiths since 1982. Matthew Bladen from Kent, an office worker, and his subject is the history of the Roman Empire, 27 BC to 476 AD. And Anne Hegarty from Manchester, a book editor whose subject is the life and works of Charlie Chaplin. Good evening and welcome to Mastermind with me, John Humphrys. I'm new, but the rules are the same. Nothing has changed. This is the quiz show that sets out to test the contenders' knowledge under pressure, and that's it. No gimmicks. It's that simple. No one wins a million. But this, some say, is worth even more, because with it goes the title Mastermind Champion 2003, the ultimate accolade. So, let's remind you how it works. Each contender has chosen a specialist subject, and that's the first round. The second round is based on general knowledge questions. The winner tonight goes on to the quarterfinals and maybe through to the final itself. Oh, and I'm not allowed to interrupt. So, let's have our first contender, please. And your name is?
Gary James.
Occupation?
Schools purchasing advisor.
And your chosen subject?
British cars of the 60s and 70s.
2 minutes on that subject, starting now. Which company did Ford of Great Britain link up with to produce a sporting version of the Mark I Cortina fitted with a 1558cc twin-cam engine that went on the market in 1963?
Lotus.
Correct. Merging with Rover in 1965, which company produced its last model, the TF21, in August 67, thereafter concentrating on the manufacture of military vehicles?
Alvis.
Correct. What make was the Majestic Major built with a powerful V8 engine?
Daimler.
Correct. Originally sporting a 6.23-litre engine that was upgraded to 6.75 litres in 1970, which model replaced the Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud in 1965?
Silver Shadow.
Correct. By what name was the Riley-badged version of the British Motor Corporation's 1100 saloon known?
The Kestrel.
Correct. Introduced in 1969, which car was marketed with the slogan, "The car you always promised yourself"?
The Ford Capri.
Correct. The original Austin Healey Sprite was fitted with an engine capable of developing 43 brake horsepower, but what was the power rating of the engine fitted to the final version, the Mark IV, in 1967?
58 brake horsepower.
65 brake horsepower. Which Italian designer's creation for Triumph included the 2000 saloon, both in Mark I and Mark II guise, as well as the Stag?
The Michelotti.
Correct. With a passing resemblance to Ferrari's Daytona, which model replaced Rover's P6 saloon in 1976?
The SDI.
Correct. Who designed the coachwork of the futuristic wedge-shaped Aston Martin Lagonda Series 2 that dominated the 1976 Earls Court Motor Show?
Bill Towns.
Correct. In April 71, the Morris Oxford finally disappeared to be replaced by which British Leyland-designed family saloon?
The Maxi.
The Marina. Which Brighton-based company attempted to expand its coachwork activities by building a coupe launched in 61 based on the Sunbeam Alpine?
Harrington.
Correct. Having previously been sole concessionaires for the Lotus 7, which company acquired sole world rights to its manufacture, I've started so I'll finish, in 1973?
Caterham Cars.
And that was correct as well. You had no passes at all. Gary James, you scored 11 points. And our second contender, please. Your name?
Peter Finan.
Occupation?
Development chemist.
And your chosen subject?
The music of the Smiths from 1982.
The music of the Smiths in 2 minutes, starting now. The Smiths were formed when lyricist Morrissey joined forces with guitarist Johnny Marr and bassist Andy Rourke, and which drummer?
Mike Joyce.
Correct. Turning down Manchester-based Factory Records in April '83, the Smiths signed a one-off deal with which London-based independent label?
Rough Trade.
Correct. In their early shows, Morrissey would often pay tribute to his early influences. How did he do so in the case of Johnny Ray?
Hearing Aid.
Correct. Before bassist Andy Rourke joined the band, the Smiths played their debut gig in October '82 at which Manchester venue?
The Ritz.
Correct. The Smiths released their debut single in May '83 when it immediately topped the UK independent chart. What was its title?
Hand in Glove.
Correct. Recorded at the BBC studios and broadcast in May '83 on Radio 1. On which programme could their first session be heard?
David Jensen.
No, The John Peel Show. Which British actor objected to the use of his image on the sleeve of the Smiths' '84 single What Difference Does It Make?
Terence Stamp.
Correct. In November '84, the Smiths released a low-priced album, which was a collection of BBC radio session tracks and B-sides under what title?
Hatful of Hollow.
Correct. In March 1985, the actress Pat Phoenix, reportedly declared by the band as the greatest woman who ever lived, appeared on the sleeve of which Smiths single release?
Shakespeare's Sister.
Correct. On which record label did the band release their debut album, The Smiths, in the USA?
Sire.
Correct. The band's highest charting single, Heaven Knows I'm Miserable Now, reached number 10 despite some major retail chains refusing to stock it. Why did they refuse?
The B-side, the subject matter of the B-side.
They objected to the lyrics, yes. Which 1985 single release that ultimately provided the backing for a TV jeans commercial was also sampled in a 90s hit, Hippie Chick?
How Soon Is Now.
Correct. Which venue in Madison Square Garden, New York City, did the band play in September '84 on a brief visit to the United States?
Square Garden.
Danceteria. In February '85, the Smiths released an album that went straight in at number 1, displacing Bruce Springsteen's Born in the USA. What was the album's title?
Meet Is Murder.
Correct. And that is your 2 minutes up. Again, you had no passes and you scored, Peter Finan, 12 points. And our third contender, please. And your name is?
Matthew Bladen.
And your occupation?
Logistics assistant.
And your subject?
The history of the Roman Empire from 27 BC to 476 AD.
That subject begins now. When in Britain did both of the emperors Septimus Severus and Constantius Chlorus die?
York.
Correct. Which emperor of the 2nd century wrote a fragmentary book of meditations based on Stoic philosophy?
Marcus Aurelius.
Correct. Which dynasty was initiated by Vespasian, ended with the assassination of Domitian, and was later adhered to by Constantine the Great and his family?
The Flavians.
Correct. Which city did Hadrian rename Aelia Capitolina in honour of the family to which he belonged after it was destroyed and later rebuilt in the 2nd century?
Jerusalem.
Correct. What was the disreputable trade of the Delatores who first became prominent in the reign of Tiberius?
Public accusers.
Correct. What honorary name did Claudius II earn by his military victories during his brief reign in the 3rd century?
Gothicus.
Correct. Which Oriental deity was briefly and controversially promoted in Rome by the Emperor Elagabalus?
Sol Invictus.
No, it was Baal of Emesa. Which year of civil war is conventionally described as the year of the 4 emperors?
AD 69.
Correct. Which emperor carried out a far-reaching revision of the Roman legal system that included the Perpetual Edict?
Theodosius.
It was Hadrian. Which imperial province could not be visited by a senator without the emperor's permission?
Egypt.
Correct. Which rose-red city of the Nabateans became a metropolis of Roman Arabia under Trajan?
Petra.
Correct. To which modern French city does the Roman town of Argentorate or Argentoratum correspond?
Nîmes.
Strasbourg is the correct answer. Of which emperor's unwilling accession did Gibbon write, while the Senate deliberated, the Praetorian Guard had resolved?
Claudius.
Correct. Which emperor earned his distinctive name by persuading the Senate to deify his predecessor when it would have preferred to damn his memory?
Antoninus Pius.
Correct. Where did Constantine the Great hold the Church Council of 325, originally scheduled to be held in Ancyra?
Nicaea.
Correct. Which of... started the question, so I'll finish it. Which of Augustus's stepsons died while campaigning in Germany in 9 BC?
Nero Drusus.
It was Drusus. Correct. Once again, no passes at all. People simply aren't passing during this game. Matthew Bladen, you scored 13 points. And our fourth contender, please. And your name is?
Anne Hegarty.
Occupation?
Book editor.
And your chosen subject?
The Life and Works of Charlie Chaplin.
Charlie Chaplin. for 2 minutes, starting now. In which Keystone film, shot in February 1914, did Chaplin's tramp make his first screen appearance?
Kid Auto Races in Venice.
Correct. 2 days after Chaplin's wedding to Mildred Harris, who placed her under contract to capitalise on a name as Mrs. Charlie Chaplin?
Sam Goldwyn.
It was Louis B. Mayer. The FBI began investigating Chaplin during a paternity suit by Joan Barry, claiming he had violated which act known as the White Slave Traffic Act?
The Mann Act.
Correct. In Dough and Dynamite, how did the tramp arouse the jealousy of the bakery owner as a result of helping his wife up a ladder?
Pass.
Which silent movie actress co-wrote and co-directed with both Charlie Chaplin and Mac Bennett while at Keystone Films?
Mabel Normand.
Correct. With which word did Chaplin begin his speech at a rally for Russian war relief in December 41 that was to haunt him years later?
Comrades.
Correct. In which Mexican town did the shotgun wedding of the 35-year-old Chaplin and the pregnant 16-year-old Lita Gray take place on the 24th of November 1924?
Coronado.
Empalme. What was the title of the 20-minute ballet in Limelight in which Charles Jr. appeared as a policeman?
Harlequinade.
It was The Death of Columbine. Which theatre was hired by Chaplin at his own expense for the New York opening of City Lights because he didn't think that United Artists' publicity department were doing enough to publicise his new film?
Grauman's.
It was the George M. Cohen Theatre. Chaplin cast Edna Purviance as Madame Grosnay in Monsieur Verdoux, but found her incapable of playing the role. Who eventually got the part?
Isabel Elson.
Correct. Which song written by Chaplin topped the British singles charts in February 1967?
This Is My Song.
Correct. Who did Chaplin play opposite Edna Purviance's Carmen in the Keystone film Burlesque on Carmen?
Dan Hosiery.
Correct. When Chaplin and Una married in 1943, who arranged the licence at the Santa Barbara Town Hall to minimise the time the clerk had to inform the press?
Carlisle Robinson.
It was Harry Crocker. Which song did the 5-year-old Chaplin perform at the Canteen Theatre when he made his stage debut, I'll finish the question, as a stand-in for his sick mother?
He don't know where he are.
No,
When Jack
it
Jones
was...
come into a little bit of splosh, he don't know where he are.
I think I will give you that because you had the answer and you managed to get it in just in time before I said no. You had one pass, and the answer was he aroused the jealousy of the bakery owner by leaving a flower handprint on the back of his wife. That's how he did it, and that'll do it. Anne Hegarty, that was your one pass. You scored 8 points. And that brings us to the end of our round on specialist subjects, and pretty close it was too. Let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place on 8 points is Anne Hegarty. In 3rd place on 11 points, Gary James. In 2nd place on 12 points, Peter Finan. In the lead with 13 points, Matthew Bladen. So, on to round 2 now, our general knowledge round. Remember, if there is a tie at the end of this round, then the number of passes, not that there have been many, will be taken into consideration, and the contender with the fewer or fewest passes will be declared the winner. If there is still a tie on points, then there will be a 5-question playoff. So, on with the general knowledge round, and may I first have Anne Hegarty back again, please. And remember that she scored 8 points in the first round, and it was on Charlie Chaplin, who, by all accounts, wasn't a terribly nice chap, was he?
No, I like him. I like him because he wasn't terribly nice.
Why?
I don't know. He's just vicious and savage and primal, and I like that. Not a bit sentimental.
You like
Yeah.
a chap who's vicious and primal
Yeah.
and savage and all of that?
Yeah, in moderation.
But the thing I found interesting, I'm not sure I should say this, it's terribly unkind to repeat this, but you took part, for reasons I didn't fully understand, in a language aptitude test with a chimp.
Yes.
And
I came second.
it can't be literally true, this. What happened?
I'm not quite sure what happened. I think I probably just simply didn't quite understand what I was supposed to be doing. Also,
But the chimp did.
Well, obviously. But I mean, also, if we got an answer right, I mean, depending on how difficult the question was, we got given either a peanut, a raisin, or a Smartie. And I think possibly the chimp was just a bit more motivated about things like that.
Well, with 8 points on the board, I imagine you are fully motivated for this general knowledge round. 2 minutes starting now. When the British withdrew from the Persian Gulf in 1971, the Trucial States became a federation under what name?
United Arab Emirates.
Correct. What name, meaning a candle maker, is traditionally used for a dealer in candles, soap, oil and paint?
Chandler.
Correct. Which coarse grass, noted for its very long roots, is frequently planted on sand dunes to prevent erosion?
Pampas grass.
No, marram grass. What name is given to the principal artery found on either side of the neck?
The carotid.
Correct. Mrs. Kenneth Darrell Waters of Green Hedges was a celebrated writer of children's books. How was she better known?
Enid Blyton.
Correct. What colour predominates in the furnishings and fabric of the House of Commons?
Green.
Correct. Which popular blend of tea owes its distinctive flavour to the use of oil of bergamot?
Earl Grey.
Correct. Which is the only living species of deer where both sexes have antlers?
Reindeer.
Correct. Who, when she set a new women's world record of 2 hours, 15 minutes and 25 seconds in the 2003 London Marathon, was half a mile faster than the first British man, Chris Carris?
Paul Radcliffe.
Correct. Which Liverpool group performed the title music for the TV sitcom The Liverbirds?
The Scaffold.
Correct. Which family of printers began publishing the official report of parliamentary debate in 1774, their name subsequently being given to it?
Hansard.
Correct. What's the name of the shingle spit which extends from Abbotsbury to Portland on the Dorset coast?
Portland Bill.
No, it's the Chesil Bank. The development of which basic surveying instrument is generally credited to 16th century mathematician Leonard Digges?
Theodolite.
Correct. The ballet Gayane with music by Khachaturian contains which celebrated dance in its final wedding sequence?
Sabre dance.
Correct. Comedian Paul Martin altered his surname to that of the borough where he was brought up. How is he now known?
Paul Merton.
Correct. In which country does the main channel of the River Danube flow into the Black Sea?
Ukraine.
No, Romania. The work of which early 20th century Italian painter, I've started so I'll finish, the work of which early 20th century Italian painter is characterised by his asymmetrical, elongated figures?
Modigliani.
Correct. Anne Hegarty, you passed on none of those questions. You now have a total, with your score of 8 points, you have gone up to 22 points. And would Gary James come and join us now, please? And you scored 11 points in your first round, Mr. James, on British cars. I have to ask you this, as somebody who was sort of a bit into cars in those years. Weren't they deeply boring years for cars? Weren't they awful cars, mostly?
There was some good and some bad. I mean, the run-of-the-mill ones never started, but some of the classics are absolutely brilliant.
But there were some real dogs, weren't there?
There were indeed, yes.
with-
Who will never forget the Allegro?
The Allegro, that was the famous one. Well, I mean, famously bad, wasn't it?
Yes.
Your specialist subject, we've already heard, you scored 11 points on. Let's see how you do with your general knowledge section, which starts, 2 minutes of it. Now, which derogatory term denotes any small country whose economy depends on the export of fruit?
Banana Republic.
Correct. Which Latin word meaning shade is given to that part of a shadow area from which all light is excluded?
Pass.
Which Irish horse, ridden by Barry Geraghty, won the 2003 Grand National?
Pass.
In the music industry, what do the letters HMV stand for?
His master's voice.
Correct. What is the common name for erythema pernio, a reaction to cold weather which produces extreme itching and burning?
Hives.
It's chilblain. Honiton in Devon is renowned for the manufacture of which textile?
Lace.
Correct. By what name was the city of Oslo known from 1625 when it was rebuilt after a disastrous fire until 1925?
Pass.
2 spices are obtained from the nutmeg tree. Nutmeg is one. What's the other?
Allspice.
It is mace. Which Spanish forename was shared by the painter Picasso and the cellist Casals?
Pablo.
Correct. Which chronic disease of the skin and the nervous system mentioned in the Bible is also known as Hansen's disease?
Leprosy.
Correct. Which singer and actress born Caroline Blamauer in Vienna in 1898 was best known as the interpreter of her husband Kurt Weill's songs?
Is it Lottie Lenya?
Correct. Hedera helix is the scientific name for which climbing evergreen plant?
The ivy.
The ivy, correct. In which Dutch city does Philips NV, the manufacturers of electrical and electronic equipment, have its headquarters?
Eindhoven.
Correct. Which American multimillionaire recluse died on his private jet on the 5th of April, 1976?
Howard Hughes.
Correct. Steinway and Sons of Long Island are leading manufacturers of which musical instrument?
Pianos.
Correct. Which defence line built in the 1930s in northeastern France was named after a French war minister?
Maginot.
Correct. Which landscape painter was born at East Bergholt in Suffolk on the 11th of June 1776?
John Constable.
Correct. Biology teacher John T. Scopes was put on trial in Tennessee in 1925 for teaching what?
Darwinism.
The theory of evolution. I think we'll give you that one. That's absolutely right. You had 3 passes, and the name of the Oslo town rebuilt was Christiana. The Irish horse ridden by Barry Geraghty was Monty's Pass, and the Latin word meaning shade is umbra. So there we are. You now have, with your original score of 11, you now have a total, Gary James, of 24 points. Now, if we could please have Peter Finan to join us. And you scored, Mr. Finan, 12 points in your first round, which was the Smiths. Now, the miserable group. They don't exactly cheer you up, do they?
That's not entirely true. I mean, his lyrics are monumental, and they're probably second only to Dylan in the richness and emotional conveyance that they had.
But I mean, the songs, Heaven Knows I'm Miserable Now.
Well, that was
Meat
actually...
is murder.
Well,
not the sort of thing to send you on your way with a sort of...
Well, that Heaven Knows I'm Miserable Now was actually taken from a Sandy Shaw song called Heaven Knows I'm Missing Him Now.
Ah.
And he was good friends with Sandy Shaw, and that's why he named it that.
Well, good luck. As I say, you got 12 points in the last round. We now have 2 minutes on general knowledge beginning now. In which European capital is the amusement park, the Prater Park, which contains a well-known giant Ferris wheel?
Madrid.
No, Vienna. Which fictional detective made his debut at Styles Court in 1920 and later returned to that house for his final case related in the novel Curtain?
Hercule Poirot.
Correct. What is the name of the premier French Order of Distinction founded by Bonaparte in 1802?
Légion d'honneur.
Correct. What is the literal meaning of the Latin word ego?
Myself.
I, literally, will accept myself. Hack, band and tenon are all types of which tool?
Saw.
Correct. In terms of population, which is Canada's largest city?
Toronto.
Correct. In horse racing, which is the last and oldest of the 5 classics of the English flat racing season?
St. Leger.
Correct. The name of which Japanese martial art means way of the sword?
Samurai.
No, kendo. In old-fashioned crystal wireless sets, what name was given to the fine wire that made contact with the crystal?
Pass.
Who won a Best Actor Oscar for his role as Don Vito Corleone in the film The Godfather?
Marlon Brando.
Correct. What is the alternative name of Mendelssohn's overture, The Hebrides?
Fingal's Cave.
Correct. Who wrote the novel Middlemarch, first published in 1872?
George Eliot.
Correct. Which word meaning a strict disciplinarian is taken from the name of Louis XIV's Inspector General of Infantry who devised a rigorous system of drill?
Martinet.
Correct. In which ocean is the Marianas Trench, which contains the greatest known ocean depth?
Pacific.
Correct. What is the full name of the English city usually known as Hull?
Kingston upon Hull.
Correct. Greaves, Birchals and Mountain are the 3 extant species of which animal?
Gorilla.
No, zebra. Mohammed VI acceded to the throne of which country in July 1999?
Pakistan.
No, Morocco. Which satirical story by Voltaire was the basis of a musical by Richard Wilbur and Leonard Bernstein that flopped when first staged in 1956 but was successfully revised in 1973?
Candide.
It was. In which... I'll go on. In which London Square is Conservative Central Office the headquarters of the Conservative Party?
I should know it, but I don't, so...
Well, in that case, I'll take that as a pass, and I will tell you, because you had 2 passes, it was Smith Square. And you knew that one, yes, indeed. And you'll know this one as well, the old-fashioned crystal wireless sets, except that you're probably not old enough to remember, but that fine wire was called the cat's whisker. Yep, you knew that as well, didn't you? However, you had 12 points earlier. You now have, Peter Finan, 25 points. And would Matthew Bladen, our final contender for this evening, come and join us, please? And you scored, Matthew, the most in the first round, 13 points. The Roman Empire, fascinated by it As a schoolboy, I gather.
Yes, yeah. I first sort of picked up Greek myths when I was very young. Started learning Latin around about 13. Just went on to the history from there, and fascinated and horrified as well to some degree.
Horrified? Because?
It was just a tremendously bloodthirsty and occasionally totally anarchic period, but at the same time they achieved so much.
Well done for your earlier score. Let's see how you do, because this is what will decide it. Let's see how you do with the general knowledge section. 2 minutes, starting now. Which future political party leader became Foreign Secretary on the death of Anthony Crosland in 1977?
Margaret Thatcher?
David Owen. In which country is the Interlagos motor racing circuit?
Brazil?
Correct. Who wrote the science fiction novel The War of the Worlds?
H.G. Wells.
Correct. Which chemical element whose compounds are used in fertilizers and detergents gets its name from the Greek for light bringer?
Nitrogen.
Phosphorus. In which 1980 cult film did John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd systematically destroy the city of Chicago?
Blues Brothers.
Correct. The visible members of which cluster of stars are named after the seven sisters of Greek mythology?
Pleiades.
Correct. Which Scottish bacteriologist shared the 1945 Nobel Prize for Physiology and Medicine for his discovery of penicillin in 1928?
Alexander Fleming.
Correct. Which monkey gets its name because its cap of hair resembles the cowl of an order of monks?
Capuchin.
Correct. Which city is the capital of the Czech Republic?
Prague.
Correct. What completes the title of the novel by Charles Dickens, Dealings with the Firm of?
Dombey and Son.
Correct. What was the name of Elvis Costello's backing group on his early hits?
Pass.
At which castle in Dorset was Edward the Martyr stabbed to death in 978, reputedly on the orders of his half-brother Ethelred?
Corfe.
Correct. Which rank in the Royal Navy is the equivalent to the Army rank of Colonel?
Pass.
Of what is toxicophobia a morbid fear?
Poisons.
Correct. Who won a Best Actor Oscar for playing the title role in the 1948 film Hamlet?
Laurence Olivier.
Correct. What name is given to the branch of medicine which deals with the health and welfare of old people?
Gerontology.
Geriatrics. The plant Dicentra spectabilis has what common name because of the bright red colour of its flowers and their resemblance to an organ of the human body?
Tulips.
Bleeding heart. The male of which bird... I've started, so I'll finish. The male of which bird is known as a cob and the female a pen?
Geese.
No, the swan. And, of course, you knew that. Matthew Bladen, you had 2 passes. The rank in the Royal Navy equivalent to the Army rank of Colonel is Captain, and the name of Elvis Costello's backing group on his early hits was The Attractions. You have scored, Matthew Bladen, a total, with your earlier 13 points, a total of 24 points. Well, at the end of the general knowledge round, let's look at the scores, and they don't come much closer than this. In 4th place with 22 points is Anne Hegarty. In 3rd place with 24 points and 3 passes is Gary James. In 2nd place with 24 points and 2 passes is Matthew Bladen. And in 1st place with 25 points is Peter Finan. So that means that Peter Finan goes through to the next round, the quarter-final stage. Congratulations to him. Please join us next time for more Masterminds. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Jeremy Paxman's asking the questions tonight as Bangor take on Durham for a place in the quarterfinals of University Challenge at 8. But next, memories of wartime evacuation on BBC Two with Melvyn Bragg's fascinating film archive, The Real History of Britain.